Hey, Brian Sullivan, founder of Precise Selling, with your weekly video tip. All right, the theme of this week's tip is this: activity is not necessarily progress. I'm going to give you 5 tips to get the most out of every one of these sales calls you make. I don't care if it's picking up the phone or jumping on that Zoom meeting. Now, I want to bring up a guy. He was my mentor and the mentor of so many buddies of mine who came up in this company called Welch Allyn many years ago. His name was John Moran. He was the sales kingpin, one of these most respected men in the medical industry. And I'll never forget, it was the early 90s. I was about 22 years old, thought I knew everything. And John Moran calls and said he wants to come travel with me, make some sales calls. Now, listen, this was an honor and it was an experience. No guy or gal wanted to screw up. Now, on this sales day, we were calling on a very important distribution customer. I had a great relationship with this guy. Now, I told the VIP C-suite customer that I'd be in around 2 o'clock. I'm going to bring the bigwig John Moran. I wanted to stop by, visit with him a little bit. Of course, 2 o'clock rolls around. We stopped by for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, shot the breeze a bit, and then we left. I felt like $1 million. I thought for sure the Godfather Moran would feel the exact same way. I was wrong. Now, we get out in this car. And this has probably happened to you before if you had a really good sales leader. Of course, John asked me this: hey, what was the objective of that call? Why were we there? Of course, after bumbling for a few seconds, I told him, well, hey, John, I just wanted to stop by, see how the customer was doing. He said, well, what was your objective in seeing how the customer was doing? I said, well, I wanted to make sure he still liked our company and what we were doing. And he said, well, what does that mean? What was your objective in seeing if he still liked our company and what we were doing? Of course, this little exercise was driving me nuts, but he was my boss's boss's boss. And I said this to him. I said, well, by liking us, it's easier for me to get him to commit to running a 60-day promotion on our products. John said, so why wasn't our objective to get him to commit to a 60-day promotion on our products? I said, well, I didn't really think of that. He said, you just did. So here's lesson number 1, because no doubt you've had this story, or maybe you're a sales manager and you've traveled with your own people or watched them on that Zoom presentation, and the same thing happened. There was a lot of activity, but not a lot of progress. Lesson number 1, never mistake activity for progress. Just because you feel busy in a sales call and there's a lot of words going back and forth doesn't mean you're getting anything done. Lesson number 2, never make a sales call without a precise objective. A precise objective is what you want the prospect to do as a result of the call that gets you closer to gaining a sale or continuing a relationship. In other words, lesson number 3, it's not about what you do in a sales call. It's about what they do as a result of it. For instance, a lame objective would be something like this. Well, I'm about to pick up this phone. I'm going to call on my current customer to find out their needs. No, that's lame. A precise objective would be, I'm calling on my current customer to get them to share with me their 2021 budget and to agree to a more detailed presentation with key decision makers sometime within the next 10 days. So think about it. If that's my objective, what do you think it's going to make my mouth do? It's going to make me ask for it. That, my friend, is progress. All right, next lesson. Number 4, do your homework. My gosh, I have so many salespeople call me, and they don't even know who I am. Lack of preparation in a sales call leads to wasting prospects' time. Face it, we'd all like to spend a lot less time with salespeople, and it's because countless are unprepared when they call us. Lesson number 5, don't turn one sales call into 3. Oh my gosh. So many salespeople do a great job of delivering the benefits of their solution. And then maybe they have to go into the financial convulsions when it comes time to talk money and get these commitments. Now, if you're the type whose greatest closing skill verbiage sounds something like this, oh, great, I'm glad you like my solution. I'm glad it's going to work for you. Let me run some numbers and follow up with you and, get with my teammates. Now, I understand there's some complex sales where maybe that has to happen. But these days, I'm watching too many Zoom presentations where a yes or a no isn't coming out of it. In other words, I can't tell if the sales rep convinced them of anything. Ask, did you like what you heard? And it's okay if you didn't. You see, pre-call preparation that includes crafting a clear, measurable objective. It's one of the easiest aspects of the selling formula to control. And despite this, too many average and below average salespeople don't invest the time to think about the result. They don't make the most out of each opportunity. And this often leads to time management problems, frustration. All right, so this week I want you to focus on one thing, that's preparation. And after you do, I want you to prepare to make 2021 the year you became your company's top performer. All right, we'll see you next week for your precise selling tip